What's up, everybody? It is Monday. Yes, it's definitely Monday, Craig. Welcome to Monday Night's Late Night Agenda. As always, I'm your host, Craig. You're very welcome along. You can see by the headlines, there's loads to go through today. Just as I was getting ready to come on and do the stream, the MATIP news started to break. So we'll cover that in more detail as well. Hello to everybody that's in the chat. Jersey Boy, John Irwin, Brian Morrissey, Scotty, Domestic Butler, LFC Gamer, Nightbot, who, isn't really in the chat, but we say hello anyway. How is everyone doing today? Shane Buckley, my friend, how are you as well? Loads for us to get through in the chat tonight. John Irwin, David Newell. Look, I want to start off with a quick review of yesterday's game against Spurs. I'm going to be really brief. I'm going to just gloss over it really quickly. It is mad how sometimes when you watch back a game, you see things a little bit differently. And I have to admit that our first half performance wasn't as bad as I thought it was when I was watching the game live. Maybe it was the pressure of watching it. Maybe it was going 1-0 down to that early goal from Harry Kane. But I have to say, watching the game back with a calm head last night, I thought the performance throughout the entire 90 minutes was actually pretty damn good. So I suppose I owe the guys a bit of an apology for that one, because in the heat of the moment when you're 1-0 down, you're chasing the game, you're critical of every little thing. Yeah, we were pretty good. I have to say that was a pretty decent performance. It was actually Jurgen Klopp's post-match comments that made me think about my views on this and made me go back and watch the game with a calm, composed head, knowing the result. And I have to say, I think they were pretty damn good yesterday. Spurs showed up, and that's another thing I wanted to touch on. Liverpool have basically a target on their back this season. We are the champions of Europe. Yes, we are top of the Premier League table. Everybody is going to up their game. And we've seen this in recent weeks. United have been dog shit for most of the season. Liverpool come to town and suddenly United put in their best performance of the season, if not one of their best performances of the season. Then Spurs absolutely horseshit for a good while. Yes, they had a good morale boosting victory against Red Star Belgrade. And then when it comes time to play Liverpool, again, you see the best of Spurs. And that's something that we're going to have to deal with this season, ladies and gentlemen. And so far, 10 games in, 9 wins and a draw. You've got to say they've been dealing with that quite well. So I just want to take a moment to say well done to the guys. We've been grinding it out at times this season. But you know what? We've an arrow or a bullseye on our back, and everybody's going to want to try and take us down this season. What have we got? Loads of people want to talk about KARIUS as well. I will get to that a little bit later on the stream. Don't be worried about that. Far Isle, I can see you in there as well. How are you? United FC said, what do I think about United? I don't really think too much about United, mate, if I'm being honest. It was a decent victory for you guys. You need to get somebody who can take a fucking penalty. That much I'll definitely say. But I still think you'll struggle to get into the European places. And by that I mean Champions League places this season. Outside chance maybe you'll scrape your way into the top 6. I don't know. Do you guys even want Europa League football? Is it a distraction to you? I'll leave it to you to discuss. I'm here to talk about Liverpool. Jack's Page is straight in with the hashtag Mbappe 2020. Oh my god, Pat Moynihan just said Heat of the Moment song by Aisha is my favourite band. I'm not joking, Pat. Hand on heart, mate. I was listening to that about 20 minutes ago. I'm not even joking with you. I really was. Hope Lovren doesn't get Gomez to start. Right, we'll go to that as well. I've also got my score predictions for tomorrow night's game, or Wednesday night's game, against Arsenal. My team selection as well. I'll go through that a little bit later on. As you can see, we're getting to the close of Serendipity month, which is October here on the channel. This will be one of the last streams that you'll see all the information from the guys. Don't forget, there is contact details in the stream description below. If you want to contact Paul and Beth and the guys in Serendipity about getting yourself a discount on one of these bad boys that I'm sitting on right now, you'll see the images floating across the screen. Don't forget to check them out. Any questions, they're happy to answer them as well. John Irwin said, Craig, every time Lovren got the ball in the Spurs game, I got really nervous. John, I don't think you're on your own, mate. I don't think you're on your own. And we'll lead into the conversation later on about Joe Matip, the injury, who we'd like to partner, Virgil van Dijk for these games. We'll move on to that a little bit later on. But I have to be honest, John, yes. And we spoke about this before when Lovren played, and we said, we didn't deserve to have those nerves. But last couple of games, I've got to be honest about it. I watched back the game, as I said, and the Son chance at the start of the second half. It was a lovely ball by Gazaniga over the top, but Lovren needed to be stronger. To allow Son to get into that shooting position, I thought was pretty bad defending. But that's just my take on it as well. And it does make me nervous. As much as I do know that Dejan Lovren's capable of putting in very good performances, it still makes me nervous, I'm not going to lie. Hi Craig, tickets for the Liverpool Legends against Barca game. Can't wait. Am I going? No. I've got to be honest, Ethan. I'm not really a fan of the Legends games. Yes, I know that they're there to raise money for good causes, and I'm actually going to just give out a little bit of information on that now because I do have it in my notes. So, as you've touched on, mate, and thank you for bringing it up, Liverpool will play Barcelona in a Legends match on the 28th of March in aid of the club's official charity. Representing Liverpool on the day will be Fernando Torres, Jose Enrique, Fabio Aurelio, Patrick Berger, Jason McAteer, Luis Garcia, Jerzy Dudek, Vladimir Smicer, and a host of other Reds, of course, as well. As always, as I mentioned at the start when I start speaking about it, all the proceeds will go to the club's official charity. And look, if you can get down, if you're somebody who struggles to get tickets, these are always good days to bring the kids down as well and say, hey, you see that guy over there, your man that's a bit overweight now? He used to be as good as, if not better than, Sadio Mane or Virgil van Dijk, and you can tell your kids all these stories about players. Jan Mulby, look at him. He used to be fit, believe it or not. Really? No, I'm not joking, you son. He did. Yeah, it's worth it to go down, and all money will go to a very good cause as well. MATIP out for 6 weeks, said big man Steve. Unfortunately, that's looking like the case. Let me get my notes up on that one as well. There's so much for us to get through tonight. Usually I think it's just going to be a little preview of the game and we'll be fine and it'll be nice and straightforward. But yeah, unfortunately, just as I was getting ready to come on, there's a bit of bad news on the injury front. So for those that aren't aware, Joel Matip has been ruled out for a prolonged period of time. There has been no definitive date yet, but the figure being mentioned or bandied around is that he'd be out for up to 6 weeks, and the reason is that he's still got that knee injury. It's not the news that we wanted to hear. He was fantastic coming in alongside Virgil van Dijk for a number of months, and one of my questions around Joel Matip was always about his injury record and that he couldn't put a consistent run of games together. He did that for a very long time alongside Virgil van Dijk when Joe Gomez had that fracture, but now unfortunately it's almost like karma in a weird way. He signed that new improved deal, which he thoroughly deserved, and then he goes and gets injured and he's out for up to 6 weeks, and we're back under a little bit of pressure. I want to know what you guys think on this. Who would you rather see play alongside Virgil van Dijk for these big games coming up? We've got Aston Villa away in the league. Then, of course, there's the international break, I believe. Or is it before the international break? Then we go... Is it before? I think it's before the international break. Sorry. We've got Manchester City then on the 10th of November. 2 massive games coming up. And I want to know who you would like to see partner Virgil van Dijk in the centre of that Liverpool defence. Is it going to be Joe Gomez? Jurgen Klopp seems to have been favouring Dejan Lovren as of late. The reason behind that, I'm not sure, but I want to put it over to you guys to see how you feel about it. We'll be fine. Matip or no Matip, said Ibrahim. It's not confirmed if Matip is out. It is confirmed, mate. He is 100% out. Without a shadow of a doubt, he is injured and he is out for a prolonged period of time. There's articles about it on the Echo. The only question really is how long for. And as I said, 6 weeks seems to be the figure that's been bandied about, but the club haven't said definitively one way or the other. Brian said Gomez, obviously the partner Van Dijk. I mean, yeah, that would have been my answer as well, Brian, but it hasn't been Jurgen Klopp's answer as of late, and the reason behind that is something that intrigues me and slightly worries me. Why are we not playing Gomez? Said Big LC. I've kind of just said the very same thing, mate. I'm not sure. Gomez, and if he's not available, Fabinho. Look, I don't want Fabinho going anywhere near centre back. I've got to be honest about that. Can he play there? Absolutely, he can play there. He can play at right back as well, but we'd lose too much in midfield if we didn't have Fabinho there. I'd rather have a Lovren and a Gomez there with Fabinho in front of him as a shield than have Fabinho back in there and then us not having somebody capable of doing the number 6 role as well as Fabinho does. So, I mean, that's just my 2 cents on that anyway. Ibrahim said Lovren will do a great job. Billy Oxley said, what are my prediction for Wednesday? I have it done out, mate. I'll change the image on the screen and that a little bit later on and go through the prediction. I've got an 11 done out and a score prediction. Spoiler alert, I'm predicting a pretty high scoring game. Samuel said Lovren has the experience to play in the big games. Yes, I cannot argue with that, mate. He does. He has played in World Cup finals. He's played in Champions League finals. He's played in epic, monumental Premier League battles. So I can't argue with you in that sense, but he still makes me nervous, Samuel. I'm not going to lie. Should we give Karius a second chance when he returns? Touch on that a little bit later on, Keane. Spoiler alert again. No is my answer on that one. Brian Morris, he said, no way we'll lose him from midfield. Exactly. I'm with Brian. It would be suicidal to put Fabinho at centre back. As good as he would be, I'm sure, not having him as that shield, doing what he does in midfield, I just think it would be crazy. Casper said, if Dejan Lovren played against Spurs, then he'll play against Manchester City, unfortunately. What else have we got though? Stephen Booker said, just have to remember that Matip got in the team because of a Gomez injury versus Burnley. Gomez's turn now. And that's a really good point, Stephen. I'm a firm believer, like you've just alluded to there, mate, that whoever's performing deserves to keep the shirt. And Joel Matip took his chance with both hands when Gomez got injured, and as you've rightly said, now could be the time for Joe Gomez to come in and prove that, you know what, I'm the man to partner Virgil van Dijk. Now, there was some talk yesterday, some people in the chat, I think it was Casper and a few others, mentioned that perhaps Gomez was a little bit pissed off at the minute. Perhaps he was looking for a move away. I had seen talk that Arsenal were interested in him. I did read up on this last night. I don't know if Gomez is going to go anywhere. And yes, we have Sepp Vandenberg for the future. And yes, we have Kiana Hoover. And yes, there are other options there for Liverpool. But I don't see the benefit of moving Gomez on, unless, of course, Liverpool long-term worry about his injury record. But, I mean, that's a conversation for another day. Right now, it's just about who's going to partner Virgil van Dijk. Lovren's fit. Gomez is fit. Who do you want, ladies and gentlemen? Give me one-word answers, please, right now. That sounds very, right now. I mean, just give me a one-word answer. Give me a Lovren or give me a Gomez, and let's see how you guys feel about it. Gomez, but Lovren is fine, said Craig Adams. What have we got? Right, I'm waiting for the words to come up on the screen. Right, here we go. Gomez for Arash, excuse me. Andrew said Gomez as well. What's my prediction? I'll get that in a minute, don't worry, mate. Gomez. Shankly Spirit said Lovren, Jersey Boy, Gomez. Barley, Gomez. Casper. I can't read your comment, mate, because the screen's going too quickly. Even Manchester United fans saying Gomez. Gomez for everybody. Shea, Gomez. Farrell, Jomez. Love it, mate. Well in. And Brian as well said that earlier on. Tom Boland, well into you as well. Jomez. I keep forgetting to say that. You guys are right to correct me. We do call him Jomez on the channel. So well in, everybody. So you know what, ladies and gentlemen? It has been nothing but a stream of Joe Gomez answers. Bassett 12's gone Maldini. If only, pal. If only. Gear Cost has gone Lovren, in fairness. Phil Jones. I would rather put me in there than Phil Jones, mate. It looks like Jovren, said Brian Morrissey. Sammy Hippie says Billy Lard. That would be class. Imagine Sammy Hippie. Imagine having big Sammy to drop in there. Lovren isn't good in the air. He's got weaknesses in teams that exploit him. I think Gomez would be better, said Joseph Barca, excuse me. Connor's still trying to confuse me now by randomly jumbling up names and throwing them together. Who's better, United or Arsenal? What's your view on Xhaka? This isn't the Manchester United channel, buddy. I'm not going to spend my time talking about United and Arsenal, except when we do an Arsenal preview. Who's better? You're both pretty shit. And Granit Xhaka should fuck off, as far as I'm concerned. Honestly, never mind what happened yesterday. And by the way, mate, I don't mean to be disrespectful towards you. That wasn't my intent at all there. Granit Xhaka, look, I don't understand what he brings to the game as a footballer. For me, he's basically Maro and Fellaini Mark II, but without the good aerial presence. Yeah, you get a screamer once in a blue moon from Granit Xhaka, but he is Arsenal Football Club's captain, and his attitude yesterday stunk to high heaven. And if I'm an Arsenal fan right now, I'm just basically telling him to go fuck himself, because that level of disrespect yesterday from Granit Xhaka was completely unacceptable. I don't care. He gets paid an awful lot of money, and he's the club captain at Arsenal, a club that deserves respect. Not going to get much of it from me being a Liverpool fan, but it is a major club, and yeah, it's bad behaviour, not behaviour fitting of a club captain. So that, and I think he's shite as well, if I'm being honest, Granit Xhaka. Harry said, what about Sepp Vandenberg? I think it might be a little bit too soon, mate, to be dropping him in. I mean, can you imagine us dropping him in against Manchester City alongside Van Dijk, for instance, on the 10th of November? It just seems a little bit too soon. Defo one for the future, though. What a baby Xhaka is, said Andrew Childerhose. 100% Craig, Xhaka is done, said Andrew Robertson. Barley said, why do you think Klopp sticks with Lovren and Lallana and the like? It's difficult, mate, because we don't see how people train, Barley, as well, and we don't see what they bring to the squad. And I understand where you're coming from, because I'm kind of the same on these. I have an affinity and I like both of them as people, and I understand that they both love the club, and I understand that they both put in the work, and that they both want to be here and they both want to improve. But at the same time, they don't make my starting 11 90% of the time. They're squad players that are there to fill holes, come on and do certain jobs. If they're okay with that, then I'm okay with that. But I really don't see either of them as starters, mate, long term. Even Lallana proving his fitness, to me, he still doesn't get near that midfield. I'd have him as maybe the sixth choice midfielder, perhaps. And that may even be me being a little bit generous. He could be a little bit further down the list. I mean, Fabinho is ahead of him. Genie's ahead of him. Milner's ahead of him. Oxlade-Chamberlain's ahead of him. Cade is ahead of him. Henderson's ahead of him. That's six straight away. So then automatically he's into seventh. And that's before you look at Shaqiri as well as an example. And then, of course, you've got players coming through. So, yeah, it's difficult. But it's good to have that squad depth in midfield, though. Don't get me wrong. Subi said, Craig, what's your prediction for the Arsenal lineup? I will go through it, Subi, don't worry, mate. I have an image done out. Well, I say I have an image done out. Connor has it done up for me. I'll just have to click a button and I'll be able to show you guys my predicted starting 11 and my score prediction as well. And as I said, it is a little bit of a high scoring game I've predicted, so spoiler alert. Lovren was bullied by Kane at the weekend, said Scott Kemp. To be fair, we are talking about one of the best strikers in Europe in Harry Kane. I mean, as much as we might take the piss out of him, the man knows where the goal is and he scores a shit ton of goals for a reason. And I don't think Lovren will be the last person to be bullied by Harry Kane, in all fairness. But that being said, I do get where you're coming from, Scott, mate. Anthony Davis said this was not just an Arsenal. Oh, what was this? That was not on Arsenal's cap. Hendo was not like to respect your fan. I don't know what that means, Anthony. Sorry, mate. That was not on Arsenal. Oh, sorry, that's gone over my head, mate. I'm going to have to move on. A couple of people asking about KARIUS as well. I promise you I will get to it. I've just got loads to get through tonight. And if I keep jumping from subject to subject, I find that I end up going back and answering people's questions and we just go over things multiple times. But I promise you I won't forget about it. Any news about Shaqiri? Not since the last update that we got from Jurgen Klopp, Arash, that he still had a muscle injury. And Klopp said big muscles take longer to recover. Klopp respects the mentalities of players, which is a really, really, really good point. He doesn't, to coin the phrase from Paul Tompkins, mentality monsters. Well, it was Klopp's phrase. Paul Tompkins wrote the book, but yeah, and that is important in players as well. It's something I'll touch on about James Milner a little bit later on as well. Rabadan, first super chat of the night. Thank you very much, mate. It's still strange to see the super chats back on, but don't worry, ladies and gents, the ads are turned off. You won't be getting any ads on the channel. So anyway, to the super chat, he said Arsenal will not be easy. Emery will play his B team, which is far superior to their first team. They've got some good youngsters, mate, coming through. I'm not going to lie about it. It's going to be a really good game on Wednesday. Being bluntly honest about it, hand on heart, I'm not arsed about the League Cup. Would I like to win it? Yeah, sure. Why not? But it's about the Premier League and the Champions League. Anything else after that is a bonus. But I still want to win. It's at Anfield, don't get me wrong. But you are right. It's a really good point, mate. They have a good young set of young players coming through and a good B team. But so do we. And that's what I will move on to right now, actually. Why not? A lot of people asking about my score prediction and team selection. Well, let me get it up for you right now. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Here comes the magic of OBS. There you go. Boom. Image changed. Right, so my score prediction for the game tomorrow, as you can see, I've gone for a high scoring game. I've gone for Liverpool to beat Arsenal by 4 goals to 2. I just have a feeling there's going to be a shit ton of goals tomorrow. I don't know why. Whether it's because both teams won't have their strongest lineup out and will go balls out attacking, I'm not sure. But here's my predicted 11. Now bear with me. I know it's a little bit off the wall, but bear with me here. I've gone for Adrian in goal because Klopp usually does give the reserve keeper these games. Even though Alisson is still coming back, I think it's only fair that Adrian gets the League Cup. So I've gone for Adrian in goal. James Milner at left back because I'd like to rest Andrew Robertson with the massive games coming up away against Aston Villa and then at home against Manchester City. For the centre back pairing, I've gone for Virgil van Dijk. But much like somebody mentioned earlier on, I've gone for Sepp Vandenberg to partner him. Now, Kian Hoover is unavailable because he's away on international duty with the Dutch under... I'm not sure if it's under 17s, but he is away on international duty anyway. So I've gone for Sepp Vandenberg, partly because we can't afford another injury to another centre-back. So I don't want Dejan Lovren playing the game, just to be on the safe side. I've gone for Joe Gomez at right back. So again, back four. Milner left back, Van Dijk, Vandenberg, and Joe Gomez at right back. My midfield trio, I've gone for Fabinho in there because I find it very hard to not include Fabinho in any team these days, even though he may need a rest at some point. So I've got Fabinho in there. I've gone for Keita and Chamberlain, the two players that played so well against Genk away. I'd love to see them let loose at Anfield as well, with Fabinho providing that shield behind him. And then up front, I've mixed it up a little bit. I want Salah to get a rest. He did train today, I've got to make that clear, so I'm not saying that he's out injured. But I've gone to give Salah a rest. So I've gone for Harvey Elliott. I want Sadio Mane through the centre. And I've gone for Ryan Brewster as well. So that's the 11 I've gone with. I've tried to mix it up a little bit. I've tried to give the youth a chance, but I've tried to go fairly strong as well. And it's really difficult here because, as Rabadan pointed out earlier on, Arsenal are in a bit of a slump. Emery could do with a win. He may go a little bit stronger than we would have anticipated when this draw was made originally. So I've kind of mixed my team up to give a little bit of experience either way. But I want to know what you guys think. Stephen Booker, Kian Hoover isn't available, mate, as I've said. So you've got him in your team there. He won't be around. He's on international duty with the Dutch underage side. What else have we got? When's the game? Wednesday, mate. Wednesday at 8 o'clock. I believe it's 8 o'clock. It is on, I think... I'm not sure what. Is it on BT? I think it's on BT. I'm not 100% sure what television channel it's on, but don't worry, we'll be doing a watch along of it anyway. I'm being serious when I say this will be 5-3. Said United. It could be, mate. I'm not disagreeing with you. This game could be anything. I remember games against Arsenal before. There's been a 4-4 as well, hasn't there, at one point? Or have I made that up? I'm sure there was a 4-4 at one point. Pranav, thank you for the super chat, mate. Said, don't think VVD, Fabinho and Mane will be anywhere near the starting 11. Please do put your starting 11 in though, mate. I'd love to see it. Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it, mate, as always. It's very difficult to pick starting 11s for these type of games when my heart doesn't really give a shit about it too much. Although, look, a cup is a cup. If Matip was available, for instance, I probably would have rested Van Dijk and played Matip and Sepp Vandenberg. It's just the fact that we're kind of walking on eggshells with central defenders now at the minute. It's a little bit unsure. Someone's just saying that they think it's a 7:30 kickoff. Let me just check so I can give you guys more up to date. Right, Wednesday. It is indeed. Great shout that. It's a 7:30 kickoff. Subi, you're a gent. Yeah, so it's a 7:30 p.m. kickoff on Wednesday, which means our watch along will be starting at 7 p.m. Thank you for that, Subi, mate. Really appreciate it. And Scotty as well. Craig, Martin Atkinson's behind VAR at the weekend. Look, Matthew, mate, Martin Atkinson. I've actually heard Arsenal fans complaining about him as well, and rightly so. He's not fit. And I don't mean that in a physical sense, although possibly. He's not fit to be refereeing anymore. He's dog shit. Whether he's behind VAR or whether he's on the pitch, I just don't rate Martin Atkinson one bit, mate. He worries me. Anybody know how to watch it in Australia? It's so hard to find, said Barley. Mate, I wish I could give you answers. I genuinely don't know. Dave Sweeney, how are you, buddy? And please, of course, do pass my best on to your young lady, Sinead. Tell her I said hello. Wednesday's team for him: Adrian, Milner, Lovren, Gomez, Trent, Fabinho, Chamberlain, Keita, Mane, Salah and Brewster. Fairly strong. And 5-5 and 5-4 on Penos is Dave Sweeney's going with, I think. Tom John said it was Andre Arshavin in 0809. Yeah, and Arshavin scored all four, I think, as well, which is madness. But an entertaining game nonetheless. Stephen Booker, now you're answering somebody else. What have we got? Jersey Boy said, my predicted 11 will be Adrian, Larouci, Gomez, Vandenberg, Milner, Keita, Lallana, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Elliott, Brewster and Jones. Thank you for that, Jersey Boy. Yeah, I have to admit, I can absolutely understand Adam Lallana shouts, and there's a very good chance we probably will see Adam Lallana, to be honest. It was the one decision that I really struggled with when I was coming up with this starting 11. And it makes sense for him to play Lallana. It really does. I can absolutely see why that. Billy said it's on Sky. He's just checked. Thank you for that, Billy. You're a gent. Really appreciate it. Martin Atkinson was disgraceful yesterday. Booked Zaha for diving and then overturned the dive into a penalty. Well, at least the right decision was made, Casper. Yeah, he was very quick to get the yellow out as well, wasn't he? I mean, why not just make his decision and then go to VAR? And if he still thinks he dived, book him. But yeah, he's it's ridiculous. And I have to say, it's got nothing to do with me, so I can talk about this with a clear conscience. Arsenal should have won that game. There was fuck all wrong with Arsenal's third goal, the one that was ruled out. Absolutely nothing wrong with it whatsoever. I think even Dermot Gallagher on Ref Watch on Sky said something similar, and that you can't see why that was ruled out. There was more stuff going on inside that penalty area that was more physical than the one that they pulled it up on. For me, Arsenal should have won the game. I'm being honest. I think VAR had an absolute mare with that one. Will Chelsea versus United be on TV? Callum, if my memory serves me correct, and I think they're all on TV tomorrow. I think there's 3 games Sky are shown. I know the United Chelsea game is on. I know the Liverpool game is on, and I think they have a third one on as well on Sky. I think you'll have to double check that. I just remember thinking to myself, they've staggered these games. It's a bit weird, and why are Sky showing them all? But I think they do. Pranav, another super chat, mate. Thank you very much. He's gone for your team selection: Adrian, Milner, Gomez, Vandenberg. You've got Milner in there twice, mate. I don't think that's humanly possible, as good as James Milner is. Lallana, Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Elliott, Origi and Brewster. So let me just count that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I think you've just got Milner in twice by accident. But again, a decent lineup that, mate. VVD needs resting, said Samuel. Mate, I agree. It's just very hard to actually pull the trigger to rest him, isn't it, when he's so damn good. Chelsea versus United is on Sky Sports main event, said Casper. Appreciate that, mate. Pranav's just making a correction, sticking in Larouci instead of Milner. Larouci's a good shout as well, and he was pretty damn good in pre-season. Fabinho sits out the next 2, 1 card, misses the City game. Thoughts? Does that carry over though from the League Cup, Billy? I wonder. Yeah, does it carry over? It's a very difficult decision as well. I don't know if it does, but even pushing that aside, the Villa game at the weekend, yeah, it's a tough one, Billy. And you're right, one more, I think he does miss out a game, and you don't want to miss in that Manchester City game. So, will we see Jurgen Klopp rest them? Because telling Fabinho not to make that last-ditch tackle or not to stop a counter-attack and take a yellow would be very difficult. So that's a really good shout, mate. Villa away is not going to be easy. Thankfully, it's a 3 p.m. kickoff on Saturday, which usually means a blackout for television. But in Ireland, I've told you guys that we get 1 game every Saturday, and thankfully this Saturday coming up, they're showing the Villa-Liverpool game, so I will be able to do a live proper watch along of that on the channel as well. Ladies and gents, I haven't said this yet, but if you are enjoying the stream, as you can see, we're at 24,500 and something subscribers. We're about 450 away from hitting 25k. If you're enjoying the stream, you haven't subscribed yet, please do hit that button. Every single one means the world to us, matters to us, and we appreciate it. So please do hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on, and sure, if you want to give us an L thumbs up as well, why not? Blue said, a fatigued VVD does winning the league no favours. Again, excellent point. I'm just so scared not to put him in the team, but I agree with everybody who says he needs a rest, 100%. Domestic Butler said, I'd rest Mane, Salah, Firmino, VVD, Alisson, Trent, or Robbo and Trent, 100%. I just put Mane in just because I think he's so hungry for goals now. He's so flying. For me, I just have one of that front 3 in there. I just went for Mane, because I think we'll see one of them play. But it's all just guesswork. George Rucker said Matip is out for 6 weeks. We touched on it a little bit earlier on, George. That 6 weeks hasn't been confirmed yet, although it is a prolonged period. The guesswork seems to be around the 6 week mark, George, and it isn't great news, mate, is it? It is. It's not the news we wanted to hear, to be quite frank. Callum's going for a 5-1 victory. That would be... I take that now, Callum. Yes, that would be brilliant. I think a lot of people are predicting goals tomorrow, which is good because when I was doing out my score prediction, I was a bit nervous. You know, when you build up these games before to be score fests, sometimes they end up being a boring 0-0 and you look like an idiot. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. But look, I'm used to looking like an idiot anyway. Casper's gone for a 3-1 win. Craig, what's this with KARIUS? Right, let me just get my notes ready. I'm going to keep going on the Arsenal prediction for the time being because I want to give people the time to get their thoughts in, Subi, but I do have it ready to go, don't worry. It's the next topic I'll cover, mate, I promise. Billy said, any team will do Arsenal. They're fragile and lacking confidence. Billy, I'm loving your comments tonight, mate. Keep them coming. Dave Sweeney said, I think Salah needs to play and get a goal or two. After going off, feeling a bit of pain in his ankle though, Dave. I don't know if Klopp will need to risk him. Now, it was precautionary, but even at that, I would personally have him on the bench maybe, but I'd like to see him get a rest and kept for Saturday. But that's just my thoughts anyway. Shea Trainer's gone for a 7-2 win with Ryan Brewster to explode. And mate, how happy would that make so many people? I know Blue would love to see it happen as well. We all wish Ryan Brewster the best. And I'd love to see him go and put in a performance and bang in a couple of goals. Mr. Raptor is in the Jesus. How are we, Raptor? Lots of love to the family, mate. I hope you're all keeping well. He's gone 18-3 to the Reds. Why not? Go balls out, Raptor. John Allen's going 6-3. What else we got? Michael Costello said 3-1 up the Reds. Arsenal aren't strong enough at Anfield, even without VVD or Fabinho. Who's going to be Arsenal's new captain, said Luke. Wasn't there some nonsense about them having 5 captains? Or at one point, Luke, something like that. Who would you give the captain's armband to at Arsenal right now? Do you know, there could be a shout for Guendouzi. I like him. I really do like Guendouzi. I think there's something about him. For me, maybe him. Yeah, I like him. I think there's something about him as a player. Seems like he's got a strong personality as well. Loves an hour rugby tackle, which is great to see. Louis said, this is Salah's best start for us. Imagine if he's at his peak form during the season. I'm all for it, Louis. I'm all for it, mate. And I think him and Sadio will push each other on this season. They're both going to bang in a shit ton of goals. Craig, why was Arsenal's goal ruled out for a foul when United was given a VAR? Scott, that's the $64,000 question, mate. It shouldn't have been. United, look, it's very difficult when I talk about this because I sound like somebody who just hates United, and I do, but Daniel James needs to just stay on his fucking feet. I'm sick of looking at that young lad go down when somebody so much just fucking farts on him or a pubic hair brushes off him. I really rate him as a player, which is what makes it more infuriating when I see the amount of times he goes to the ground and has a snidey little look up to see what's going on. Arsenal's goal should have stood. I've said that earlier on in the stream. I fully believe that goal had nothing wrong with it, and the VAR had a mare. Raptor said Arsenal are having everybody as a skipper without Yacker. I don't know who the fuck that is. What else we got? KARIUS return. I'm going to touch on it, Reactor Sincere, in 1 second, mate. I'm just getting through the rest of these Arsenal predictions. Craig, do I watch AFTV? No, I would rather stick hot needles in my eyes than watch that channel, mate. Yeah, don't like it one bit. I think it's everything that's wrong with football fan channels. I've nothing against them personally. I just don't like the channel. Craig, I'm worried about our centre backs getting injuries during the season. Matip's going to be a massive miss. Yes, Louis, but therein lies the breaks, mate, I suppose. I mean, look at Manchester City's defensive woes as well. Centre backs are involved in a lot of physical tussles. They get a lot of knocks, and just hope Van Dijk doesn't pick one up. That's all I'm doing, just sitting here praying that Van Dijk doesn't pick one up. Blue said Reen's definitely in the squad, but doesn't know if he's going to get a starting berth until late morning. Thank you for that, Blue. I always appreciate your updates, and please do pass on all our love and best wishes to Reen. Craig Adams is going 6-2. Brewster to score, Harvey Elliott to score 2, and Oxlade-Chamberlain. What have we got? Why is MATIP out? He's got a knee injury, Liverpool lad, mate. A knee injury that, they're still waiting to get a definitive time period on. But even at that, the club don't really give out time periods these days, and 6 weeks seems to be the figure that's been bandied about. When do Liverpool play, tomorrow or Wednesday? Asked Mohammed. Wednesday at 7:30 UK time, Mohammed, against Arsenal in the League Cup. Fabinho's going to have a big game if he plays against Arsenal, in my opinion, said Liverpool kid. I think Keita is overrated, said Callum. I don't. I mean, it's all about opinions, Callum, mate. I love Naby Keita. I think he's going to be really, really good for this club once he gets into a run of games and can improve his fitness. It takes a lot to come into the Premier League. It takes a lot to get up to Jurgen Klopp levels of fitness and physicality and pressing. And Naby needs time to adjust, and maybe the physicality of the league have led to some of the injuries and stuff that he's picked up. But I've got to be honest, I said it when he came in, I said it when we signed him, I'm expecting big things from Naby Keita, and I'm fully behind him 100%. Mo looked absolutely fine in training today, said Pranav, which is great news, mate. The reason I wouldn't put him in the team is I would just rest him, just to be on the safe side ahead of that game against Villa on Saturday. Any stream tomorrow? No, there won't be a stream tomorrow, mate. No, I've got a psychologist appointment, and as I've said all along, I usually don't stream on Tuesdays because you use up a lot of mental energy, as you can imagine, when you've got a psychologist appointment. So no, there won't be any stream tomorrow, but it'll leave you guys free to enjoy the League Cup games if you're so inclined. But I will be back, obviously, don't worry. We'll be here on Wednesday starting at 7 o'clock for a watch along of the Arsenal game, but there's loads of time still to go in tonight's stream, so please do keep your comments coming. 7:30 kick-off for those asking on Wednesday. Craig, what are the Karius rumours? Okay, I think I've held off long enough. You guys have been very patient. Thank you. So, there's not much on it. Don't worry about it too much. But reports from Turkey suggest that Besiktas will look to cancel Loris Karius' loan in January. Apparently, the club president wants to replace him with Fulham's keeper Fabry. Now, I've got no idea what the situation is with the 2-year loan deal. It was a loan to buy deal that we sent Karius out to Besiktas with. I've got no idea if he's triggered X, Y or Z in that contract. I've got no idea of the details of that contract. All I can say to you is this has been widely reported that Besiktas are looking into the possibility of cancelling Loris Karius' loan in January. Whether that's possible, whether they'll have to pay us a penalty clause, I don't know. But what I will say with absolute certainty is if it is cancelled, he will be moved on by Liverpool Football Club. Loris Karius will not be coming back and fighting for a place at Liverpool Football Club. I don't know this from any information from the club. I don't know this because I'm pretending to have inside sources. I just don't think that there's any chance in hell it's going to happen. I remember reading a while back, because this was discussed in the summer as well, that there was talk of Besiktas maybe looking to cancel that loan deal. There's a queue of clubs in Germany that would probably take him over there as well. And I've got nothing against Loris Karius. I hope that he goes on and has a fantastic career. I just think there's no way back at Liverpool. There is no road to redemption for Loris Karius at Liverpool, particularly because we have Alisson Becker. And Karius is going to want to be a number one, and he isn't going to be a number one at Liverpool. So, if Besiktas come to an agreement with Liverpool to cancel his loan deal in January, I'm pretty much certain that he'll be farmed out somewhere else. Farmed out probably isn't the correct phrase. I should be kinder in the language I use. That he'll be moved on or loaned out or sold somewhere else. I guess we're going to have to wait and see on that one. But that's the news, and it's been widely reported. It's in the Echo if you want to have a read about it yourself. Andrew Childerhouse said it's their new club president too. Yes. So yeah, you're going to have a look and wait for yourself. I can't give you any more information on it, but that's just what I read earlier on. It doesn't really affect us too much because either way, he might come back to train with the team for a while, but he won't be pushing for a first team spot. He'll be moved on. What's this? Brian Morrissey said they can pay to terminate the contract. There you go. If they want to do that, then Liverpool have had a few contract conversations lately, haven't they? The whole New Balance Nike thing, which I was reading up on earlier on as well. Some more information on that one. Apparently Nike have seen something like a 27% growth in their sales in China in the past year, and that's definitely a market Liverpool are very, very keen to exploit, if that's the right word, but certainly push into. And they feel that Nike can be a massive benefit to them in that one as well. And they also want Manchester United are getting something like 75 million a season from Adidas, and there was some figures being bandied around in the Echo. I'm not sure if I took them down in my notes or not, so let me just check that. No, I didn't take them down in my notes, but let me just straighten that up. If I remember correctly, Manchester City they had down as 50 million from Puma. Was something like 45 million or something like that, maybe a bit more from Arsenal. And Liverpool want to just bypass all of those and at least be somewhere there or thereabouts to the money Manchester United are getting from Adidas. So whether Nike can do that with the current offer that's on the table, which is 30 million plus 20% of merchandise sales, I would say that will bring in quite an amount of money to the football club. But one thing I think we can all take for almost granted is that it's looking like Liverpool will be wearing Nike shirts from next season. I'm going to have to train myself to say Nike because that is apparently the correct way to say it. Casper said the worst signing by Klopp was KARIUS. See, I don't know about that, mate, because there's two ways of looking at that signing. Did it work out? No, not really. But also, it was only 4.5 million. And if my memory's right, by the way, and we can move him on and get more than that without any issues. So from a playing perspective, yeah, it didn't work out too well, but from the club's perspective, from a financial perspective, we'll probably be alright in the long term with that one. Don't think Mane needs a rest against Arsenal. Don't you think Mane needs a rest against Arsenal, said LFC? I think they all need a rest, mate, the forward three, which is why I haven't put Salah and I haven't put Bobby Firmino in the team. I just think Mane is flying at the minute. He's playing with a smile on his face. He's full of confidence. And I want one of the front three in that team, and I just went with Mane. If you want to go Firmino, I get that. With Salah having had that knock on his ankle as well, I think from a precautionary point of view, just let him miss out. But I understand it, mate. It's nerve-wracking in these games when you don't really... Well, I can't speak for everybody, but a lot of people aren't really too invested in the League Cup. But nobody likes to see us lose, particularly at home, so... Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm very, very much looking forward to seeing what type of 11 Klopp goes with. Anthony Davis said, "Sorry, Craig. What I meant to say is the Arsenal captain should not disrespect the people that pay his wages. Captains of other clubs wouldn't do it." You're right, Anthony. It's shocking, absolutely shocking, and Arsenal fans have every single right to be enormously pissed off at Granit Xhaka. Big Man Steve said, "I remember watching KARIUS for Mainz and he looked good. I think he won an award, or I think he was voted either the best keeper in the Bundesliga or best behind Manuel Neuer or something like that, if memory's right." Jason Ward said, "More than 4.5 million for KARIUS will never happen. Will it not? Well, we've just got 2 million, mate, from Besiktas on a loan, and the agreement after the 2 years was 12 million. So we will get more than 4.5 million for him, mate, without a shadow of a doubt. And we've already got some of that back, as I said, by loaning him out to Besiktas. I don't care about Wednesday, said Brendan Ruddy. I like your honesty, mate. Origi has to play, said Brian Morrissey. Yes, I'd have no issues with that either, mate. I just had a guess at an 11, but if Divock plays, I'm sound about that as well. What else have we got? Could the team that played the last game play plus the young ones, said Dave Sweeney. Maybe. If we're talking about the last League Cup game, I really can't remember who started that game, Dave. You know how bad my memory is, mate. Dara said, "Due to his blunders, I bet KARIUS cost us a lot more." Look, it's the Champions League final thing. I think we should just draw a line under it. I mean, none of us really know how much the knock to the head had any part to play in that, but I think it would be very unfair and naive of us to think that it had no effect on him whatsoever. Whether it was as impactful as is being made out by some people to be, I don't know. But what happened. He didn't do it on purpose. You could see by him after the game how sorry he was, how much it got to him. And I felt for him in that moment. I really, really did. Thankfully, from our point of view, we went back and finished the job the next year and lifted our big ears for a record for us, sixth time. It's not really a record when Madrid have won something like 13, but for us, sixth time. Blue said, "Craig, due to the Nike deal, we will see 3 p.m. game on Fox Sports and NBC." Interesting. Interesting. Craig, by not signing Ziyech in the summer, did we miss a trick there? I don't know. There's a couple of things, a couple of thought processes behind that, Casper, mate. One, Ajax moved on a few players in the summer, and they weren't going to sell them all, so They got big money in for delay. I still think, what's his name, Donny van der Beek, I think he will move soon enough. Obviously, Barcelona took the young midfielder as well, whose name I, for some reason, can't think of at the minute. You know who I'm talking about anyway. So, yeah, there was always going to not sell everybody. They had to keep some players there. And with Ziyech's age and how well Frankie de Jong, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. They were always going to want to keep some players there. For me, I think the trick that we missed was Timo Werner. But thankfully, as I've spoken about before, there seems to be a rumoured 13 million quid buyout clause. There's definitely a buyout clause, but the rumour is that it's 30 million in that new Leipzig contract. So for me, that was the one that I think we missed. What else we got? I'm so happy we missed out on Lamar and Nabil Fekir. What do you think? Yeah, I've said similar things before, Brendan. There's been very few signings that Jurgen Klopp hasn't gone ahead and made that we've been made to look foolish about. So Thomas Lamar is a really good example. Nabil Fekir, again, is a really good example. It's too early to talk about Nicolas Pepe at Arsenal. I'm trying to think of other players that Jurgen Klopp has looked at that we hadn't pulled the trigger on, that hadn't quite worked out. Goetze, as an example at the time. He's been alright, but he hasn't made us look foolish. And I think Jurgen Klopp has been very, very clever in the players that he selected. Of course, with his recruitment team and his scouts as well. But yeah, it's a good point, mate. You're on fire. Absolutely on fire with the comments today, ladies and gentlemen. Keep them coming. Louis said he only has a dead leg. Who's this? I missed the first part of that. Louis, whoever it was with the dead leg. Okay. Summer 2017, we went all out for signings, said Shay. And we got them all right as well, mate. We can't argue about that. Van der Beek would be perfect for Liverpool, said Shanzo. He would. He would be a brilliant long-term Henderson and Milner-esque style replacement. He is quality. Absolute quality. And if I'm being honest, I thought he would have moved on in the summer. Liam Granby, how are you, mate? Said, hello, Craig. Long time no chat. How's tricks? Hope all is good. Can see us beating Arsenal 5-0. They've got a really bad record at their place. And they're falling apart at the minute. Firstly, mate, I'm alright, thank you very much. I hope you're keeping well. I don't know if we quite beat them 5-0, Emo, but I'd love it. I'd love to give them a spanking, mate. My score prediction, as you can see from the image, is 4-2. Teixeira, I couldn't remember if that was Brendan Rodgers or if it was Kloppo. But yeah, another one, Brian, that has gone to China and, you know, disappeared off the face of the planet pretty much. Grujic to come back and fight for a place next year, said Louis. I think so, mate, definitely. I think Marco Grujic next year should come back. He should, I won't say fight for a place with Fabinho, but learn from Fabinho, provide cover for Fabinho. And I think, yes, I think we'll definitely see him back, mate. I've always thought he had a future at the club. Jamie, how are you? Jamie Barnett said, hi, if Jurgen Klopp leaves, who do you think should take over at Liverpool? It depends. It's too early to say, I think, Jamie, and I don't mean that to be a cop-out answer, mate. I mean, I could sit here and say Steven Gerrard, but I want Gerrard to prove himself a lot more before I consider him to be Liverpool manager. Whatever happens, though, I hope we keep Pep Linders involved in the coaching staff because I really, really rate him as a coach. For Stevie G, I'd like him to have a year or two somewhere else. Or maybe if we knew that Kloppo was going to move on, bring Stevie G in to work with Kloppo for a year beforehand so the changeover is, let's say, almost seamless. But would that work out? Would there be any clashing of heads about who's really in charge? I don't know. It's a difficult question to answer, mate, because I don't want Klopp to go anywhere. I absolutely love him. What have we got? Craig, do you remember we were interested in Alex Teixeira? Yes, he went to China, mate. We spoke about that a little bit earlier on. And yeah, chase the money, really. What's happened to Shaqiri? I thought he was a good player. He's out with a muscle injury, Callum, at the minute. So yeah, that's why we're not seeing him playing. What else have we got? Am I ever coming to Liverpool? Said Liam Belson. Yes, we should be over there in April for the Villa game, mate. And I was there twice last season as well. We were there. We didn't get tickets to a game, unfortunately, but we were there in Liverpool. We did a meet and greet in the beer cellar for the last game of the season against Wolves, and we also went over for the Boss Night show to send the lads off to Madrid. So yeah, we were over there a couple of times, and we'll be there in April as well. Yeah. I'm trying to think, we'll be there any other bits and pieces. No, but what I will be doing is I will be over in Ramsgate meeting up with Domestic Butler and hopefully Paul and Beth from Serendipity in... I should know this because it's my anniversary, between February the 29th and March the 2nd. So if you're anywhere around that neck of the woods, I'm sure we can arrange a little evening's entertainment, a little evening out somewhere. Maybe everybody meet up for a meal or something. I'm looking forward to meeting Paul and Beth, as I said before. And Carl and Julie, and hopefully Paul and Beth. What else have we got? If we haven't won the league, Steven Gerrard can't take over. Too much emotion, said Brian Morrissey. I can understand Klopp wanting the 1 year sabbatical. Give it to him, but let him come back. I don't know if that would be what he would want, Krishna. Whenever he does move on from Liverpool, I think he'll feel that his cycle or his time here is done. It'll be a very tough year to have anybody in charge and no Klopp's coming back, as good as that would be. I just don't see that as something that may happen. Craig, what time do I go to the doctors on Tuesdays? That's a personal question, mate, that I'm not willing to answer. I mean, I will answer a lot of things, but I don't think that has any relevance to the stream, buddy. It's so hard to get tickets in Ireland, isn't it, said Jack. I mean, it's not an Irish problem alone, mate. It's just difficult for Liverpool fans to get tickets because the club's always been really popular, but with success comes more demand for tickets, and you know, you can only fit so many people inside Anfield, which is why we all want it to be extended. Malcolm said Klein will be moved on in the summer. Yeah, it's a shame for him that he did that ACL injury, and that'll keep him out for the guts of the season, it looks like. Really looking forward to meeting you, said Domestic Butler. Right back at you, pal. Can't wait. It's been a long time coming, but I did promise you we'd eventually get over, and flights and all are booked, so we're looking forward to it. Did I go to the Champions League parade? No, I didn't, mate. No, we did a Champions League watch along here. We did actually the charity stream for the Champions League final, which thanks to you guys we raised an awful lot of money for Cystic Fibrosis Ireland. With thanks as well to my wife who runs the Dublin Ladies Mini Marathon every year. But you guys helped out massively with that one, and for that we will be eternally grateful as well. What else have we got? Which team is the best kit this season? Arsenal. Easy answer for me, mate. I've got to say, I think I like all of Arsenal's kits this season. I think Adidas have done a cracking job with their kits. Werner or Haaland? Asks Liam Belson. Oh God, mate, that's a tough one. I mean, Haaland burst onto the scene, scoring a shit ton of goals. Oh, I don't know, mate. It's a very difficult question, Liam. You've got me on that one. Haaland. I think Haaland, if we could get him, because if he's doing what he's doing at that age already, and with the physical size and his mobility as well, I would take Haaland. Yeah, I've got to be honest. I'd love Werner, but Haaland looks like he could be an absolute superstar. Have I stopped doing podcasts? Sort of. It's a matter of, Cash moved to London, so she's really, really busy at the minute. I haven't had a chance to chat with Dave for a while. It's just a timing thing, and they never really did well in this format, if you get where I'm coming from, Casper. The shows that tend to do well are the ones that I either do on my own during watch-alongs and stuff, or if I have people here with me, so if Connor's with me or Brian's with me and stuff like that. So probably won't be too many podcasts coming up in the near future, although I do want to get Cash on for a bit of a catch-up, because we touched base recently when I was away, and as I said, she's moved to London, so she's very busy at the minute, but I'd love to get Cash on for a chat. You know how much how highly I think of Cash and Dave and everybody else that was involved with the podcasts. Imagine a VAR style system in boxing. They do use something similar, don't they, Dara? I mean, wasn't instant replays used recently to disqualify somebody? It was an English fighter that then stepped up a division, vacated his belt. I can't remember who it was, but I think they do use replays under some auspices. I'm not sure exactly which ones. Who was the fighter? It's bugging me that I can't remember who it was now. I'm sure somebody in the chat will let me know anyway. I'm really, really, really strongly thinking of branching out, ladies and gentlemen. I honestly want to get your thoughts on this. It's been something I've been talking with Connor about. So, Anfield Agenda is going nowhere. I love it. I love talking about Liverpool Football Club. But there's so much more I want to talk about. I want to talk about boxing. I want to talk about stuff that pops up in the news. I want to talk about topical things. And I'm playing around with the idea of doing a second channel. We can't really do it on Anfield Agenda because the name is so specific to Liverpool that it doesn't really allow us to expand and do other subjects. But I'm really strongly thinking I have the time. I've managed to free up some space in the calendar. I think I could cope with a second channel. But I'd love it to be a little bit different. I'd love to do some pre-recorded stuff. I'd love to do, little 12-minute videos on my thoughts on specific topics. I'd love to talk about boxing. What do you think? Is it something I should do, or should I just stick with Anfield Agenda? I've always wanted to keep you guys involved with everything. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. And if you're watching this on replay, please do let me know in the comment section as well. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we're heading towards the hour mark. So let's say we will do 15 more minutes on tonight's stream. Anything you want to talk about, please keep the comments coming. Craig's Agenda, said Samuel. It would probably be Craig's Agenda, but it'll be a very simple name. You've got my vote, Craig. Can I subscribe now, said Dara. You can't subscribe to something that doesn't exist yet, mate, but I really do appreciate your support, Dara. You've always been very good to me, mate. What's the name? I'll subscribe. Haven't thought about it yet. Haven't made a channel. It's just an idea I'm playing around with. I want to talk about boxing. I want to talk about topical stuff that comes up, whether it be Netflix shows, whether it be news stuff, whether it be YouTube news. Why not do a channel like True Geordies? That's exactly what I'm talking about, Bernadette. Something along that lines. I mean, True Geordie did start out obviously talking about football in Newcastle, but he branched out into other stuff, and I feel like that's something I want to do as well. Yeah, it's difficult because, Connor is already pressed for time, and I don't want to pressurise him, and I don't want to put more pressure on him to have to put out thumbnails and stuff like that, but I have an itch that I feel like I need to scratch. Yeah, and I feel like we could have some fun, and we could take the piss, and we could look at things from an alternative point of view, whether it be taking a piss out of conspiracy theories or talking about other sports. There's so much I want to talk about, outside of course, my love of Liverpool. Craig's box clever, said David Newell. It wouldn't just be a boxing channel, mate, because there's already a million great boxing channels out there. Well, there isn't a million, but there's loads. I mean, I've said before, I'm a massive fan of IFL TV and Kugan Cassius and the stuff he does. I always watch their videos. But yeah, I want to just branch out and do other stuff as well, because I love this. I love being a YouTuber, and I'm now happy to say, yeah, I'm a YouTuber. It's a weird thing to say. I spoke to you guys before about being worried about being 38 and being too old for this shit, but I guess I'm a YouTuber, and I'm enjoying it. And I want that to carry on, and I want to branch out, and I want to do other stuff. And you fuckers are going to be sick of me soon enough, I promise you. Craig, when's your next holiday destination? Nothing booked until next June, Casper, mate. We usually try and get 2 weeks away a year as a family. Sometimes we save up all year round, and sometimes we take those 2 weeks in one lump sum. But this year we took a week in July, we went to Turkey, and then we took a week in October. I mean, very recently we went to Tenerife. Yes, we did have the Orlando stuff, but that was nothing to do with the family. That was Anfield Agenda based. And yeah, we've a holiday booked. We're going back to Turkey next June for 2 weeks. So apart from the little trip over to Ramsgate to meet Domestic Butler, nothing else on. Gabbing Craig, nah, that sucks, said Andrew Gildahose. Where do I think Liverpool should strengthen in the summer? CFM 17. Another wide attacking forward, mate. I wouldn't mind seeing us bring in a number 10 as well, and maybe address a 4-choice centre back if we move on Lovren. You've made my day, Dara. I'm not going to lie, you've been one of the reasons why I've been thinking about it, Dara. You put it in my head a while ago about boxing, and from that little seed, I think more stuff has grown. Craig, who win the Ballon d'Or? I think Virgil van Dijk, mate. I've seen some interviews or some things going around saying that apparently there's been interviews done with Cristiano Ronaldo, and television companies have been seen over there, and some people are thinking that maybe Cristiano Ronaldo will win the Ballon d'Or. If that's the case, then I give up. I just give up altogether. I mean, as good as he is, there's no way he deserves to win the fucking Ballon d'Or this year. It's got to be Messi or it's got to be Van Dijk. If it's Ronaldo, I just throw my hat at it and give up. Do I think KSI versus Logan Paul is good for boxing? No, I don't. As somebody who would, I wouldn't say consider myself a boxing purist. I get the argument that they think it's going to bring other people to the sport, and maybe it will bring a few, but not for me. What I will say is that they've got the price point right. It's £9.99 on Sky Box Office for that fight. And on the fight, you have two world champions fighting on the undercard. You've got Devin Haney fighting on the undercard, and you've got Billy Joe Saunders fighting on the undercard. So, yeah, maybe the YouTube audience will tune in and watch the undercard, or maybe they'll just tune in to watch KSI and Logan Paul. I think it'll do decent numbers, but is it good for boxing? Not for me. I've nothing against either one of those gentlemen. They've put themselves through the ringer to get in shape and get into that ring. And anybody who steps into a boxing ring with no headgear and 10-ounce gloves deserves massive, massive respect. You can't deny the courage shown by both lads, but yeah, I just don't like the word professional being used. But look, it is what it is. I'm going to watch it. We're going to do a watch along of it, and we'll see what happens. Messi was robbed the previous year, said Samuel. Craig on crack, said Brian Morrissey. No, that ain't going to happen. Craig, who would you like my uncle to fight next? Subi wants to know. Well, Cal Brook, mate. Obviously, it's the one fight we all want to see happen. And for various reasons, it hasn't happened yet. So, if that doesn't happen in the next 9 months, Subi, then I don't see it happening. And I will say to Amir, in my opinion, hang up your gloves, mate, and enjoy the rest of your life. If Ronaldo wins it, then it's a fix. Not that it ain't already. It seems you have to play in Spain or be Messi or Ronaldo to win it, said David Newell. I say we get some wide players. Salah and Mane aren't getting any younger, and I don't want a Real Madrid situation, said Yasser. Craig, do I think we should go in for a Heung-min Son? Asked Callum. Would I go for him? You bet your ass I would, Callum. I love him. I think he's an unbelievable player. You can watch back previous streams. I've been saying it for a very long time. I just don't think Daniel Levy would sell to us, and I think it would cost a ridiculous amount for him to even entertain it. What have we got? When am I playing FIFA? It's something I've forgotten about, big man Steve. To be quite honest, I haven't even had the time to think about it. Between Orlando, between the holiday with Tenerife, and my little dude being sick at the minute and stuff, I haven't had a chance to even think about playing FIFA. Fight starts at 4 a.m. UK time, said Scotty. Which one? The Logan Paul KSI fight? Yeah, I'll be watching it. And then the next day we've got the Manchester City game as well. So yeah, it's going to be a busy 24 hours in my house. Heung-min Son or Jadon Sancho? Sancho, because of the age and his profile and how long it could be around for, mate. Happily Eggs, how are you, mate? Welcome in. Craig's talking door, said Tom Boland. I like it. Domestic Butler wants us to go and sign James Maddison. Just want the freeze time. Can't their squad stay young forever, said AJ Henry X. If only, mate. If only. Although Jimmy Milner can. So if Milner can, maybe he can teach the rest how to. True Baldy. I love it, Dave. Can you imagine the stick I'd getting for ripping off the name? But I like it. I fucking love it. I love True Baldy. I think we'd have to change the word true, but Baldy being in the title is I like it. You're onto something, Dave. Well in, mate. I'm definitely going to work with that Baldy thing. Well in. Craig and Connor on All Stuff Sports. It'll be much more than sports though, Limo. That's the thing, buddy. Get well soon, Lucas, said Dylan. Thank you, mate. Unfortunately, the shingles have spread a little bit and the little dude is just exhausted at the minute. So, yeah, he's asleep, thankfully, and I hope he gets rest and feels better soon, because as a parent, when your little dude or your little daughter is unwell, you feel so fucking helpless that there's nothing that you can do. Of course, you bring them to the doctor and stuff, but yeah, you just feel helpless. It's horrible. Being true with Gru. Well in, yes sir, mate. That's really good. Who you calling Baldy, said David Newell. Me, that's who. Do I have my Diet Coke? Of course I do. Always have it, mate. I don't actually. I could do with a drink. Sometimes your little questions actually remind me that I do need a drink. Right, I have a couple of more things actually. We were talking about James Milner. Now let's move it back to Liverpool for a minute. James Milner was talking during a recent interview with The Guardian, and as well as talking about hopefully extending his Liverpool contract, he was talking a little bit about the Anfield crowd. Talking about the club's 30-year wait for a Premier League title, Milner said that he sensed nerves from the Anfield crowd last season for the first time. This is a direct quote from Milner. He said, "They started getting quite nervous early in the title race last season. It was the first time I'd sensed that atmosphere at Anfield, but nothing really changed in the dressing room. The lads are always calm and confident, and hopefully winning the Champions League settles people down. I hope they just enjoy it. As much as people want the trophy, it's the journey that you enjoy the most." The reason I bring this up is that's something I've said so many times on the channel. We've got to remember these little moments along the way, these last minute goals against Everton from Divock, the penalty from Mohamed Salah this season against Spurs on Sunday could be a moment we all look back on. And it is the journey that's part of the fun. Yes, we all want Liverpool to lift the Premier League crown at the end of the season, but as Mr. Milner rightly points out, you've got to enjoy the journey. And for me, that's what a lot of this fun has been. I mean, I often watch back the streams from the Champions League last year. Obviously the Barcelona one, the final. But the moments along the way that I shared with you guys on here, some of those moments will live with me forever. Forever and ever. No matter what happens in my life, I'll always remember the Barcelona stream, the Origi goal, as I said, against Everton, and some other moments that, like, I remember being nervous after we drew 0-0 at home to Bayern Munich, and then we went over there and absolutely destroyed them. And yeah, those moments. He's right, Jimmy Milner. He has got wisdom, old Jimmy Milner, and you got to enjoy the journey along the way because it is part of the fun. I don't think that Baldy's Bash Out is a bad name. It sounds like somebody's taking care of themselves, Jack, if I use that type of title, if you get where I'm coming from. John said, "Craig, silly me, I've forgotten how many times." I don't quite have enough fingers on this hand, John, so I'm going to have to bring in another one. 6 of the best, John. 6 of the best, buddy. You're going to not... What's this? You're not going to do better than True Baldy. It is pretty damn fucking good, I've got to admit, but I can't use the word true because, of course, True Geordie has... That's his thing, but something Baldy is good. I do like it, Dave. You're onto something. How do I think Arsenal will line up? Billy, I haven't got a clue. I don't know if they'll go strong. I don't know if Emery will rest a few players, but they've got some good youngsters, and I'm expecting a high-scoring, entertaining, good game. How about the good egg? But I'm not good, Dave. I'm not good, mate. That's it. I'm if I had my way, I'd call the channel the People's Cunt, but I don't think I'd get away with that on YouTube. I don't think that would attract sponsors either in the long term. Welcome to the People's Cunt. I'm your host, Craig, the People's Cunt. As much as I'd love to do it and say it, the Baldy Cunt, that would be another one. God almighty, I've used some language on this stream. If that word offends anybody, I don't really apologise because I'm not aiming it to offend anybody, but I understand it's a word that some people don't like hearing. I love saying it though, I'm not going to lie, it's one of my favourite words to use. Craig's List. I think that might be used already, Bernadette. Although, even at that, they pronounce it Craigslist, don't they? They ruined that. The Irish Baldy. I mean, that could literally be one of probably about 500,000 people, David. Diet Chav should be in there. They're only going to be in there, mate, if they pony up the cash. Because the amount of publicity I will continue to give Diet Coke over the years, and ne'er a free can of Coke from them, mate. In Fed, I don't know what Fed it is. In massive credit to Kyo's, they sent me out a basket of stuff, and I will forever love them regardless, because Kyo's are the crisps of kings, and to get a free bunch of crisps off them, that was pretty damn cool, I have to admit. Should we not start Adam Lewis and rest VVD? Well, Adam Lewis is a left back, so I don't know if you mean in that position. And rest VVD, yeah, we probably should, but with Matip being injured, who do we put in there? Do we go Lovren Gomez and play somebody else at right back? I've gone for VVD set Van der Beek, but it's just a guess, mate. I mean, it is just my opinion. On that, let me just switch over for the last few minutes because we're running out of time this month for Serendipity Furniture Month, and as you can see, I'm sitting in a beautiful chair. A lot of people ask me, is this chair real or is it superimposed? No, it's absolutely real. Look. See the chair moving side to side? It's absolutely real. It is beautiful, and it is made by the good folks of Serendipity Furniture, who were kind enough to not just send us the chair, but embroider my name and the Liverpool Liverbird into it. So look, they've got a massive offer for any Anfield Agenda subscribers out there. You can see it on the screen right now. They're offering a £100 discount off any one-seater chair like this, a £200 discount off any two-seater chair, or a £300 discount off any three-seater sofa or corner unit. And the good news is they can also now make electrical recliner versions of this chair. And it's not just this chair. If you have a design in mind, like you can see the one on the screen there now, they can do up your family crest. They can do it up in any range of colours. Every chair comes with a 10-year guarantee for the structure and a 2-year guarantee for the leather that's on the chair. You're wondering why I'm promoting it. You're asking yourself, how much is this Irish twat getting paid? Nothing. This isn't a money thing. I'm doing this because I've had the pleasure to get to know Paul and Beth from Serendipity Furniture throughout the process of getting this chair made. And it's a wonderful family-run business that is run with the passion that we try and put into this channel. And I cannot say enough how nice they are and how much they care about what they do. So if you're in the market, and I know it's a fairly niche thing, but you'd be surprised. I think that they've sold quite a few. I'm going to say that. They've made a chair for Jesse Lingard. They've made a chair for a Playboy Bunny. They've made a chair for a bald Irish twat who runs a YouTube channel whose name I can't mention. This guy. So yeah, look, all I'm saying is they're a fantastic company. If you're in the market for a chair, you want to treat yourself to something special, something that you'll have for the rest of your life, do check them out. Yeah, as I said, we're not making any money from this. We're just doing this because we love the company and they're really, really good people. So yeah, that's all I got to say really. But this month has been Serendipity Furniture Month. I'll be sad to see it come to an end, but I hope you guys check them out. If you have any questions, they're always there to ask. There's a link to the Instagram page below. John has also put up the Facebook link as well there to Serendipity's page. Thank you for that, John. And yeah, if you ever want to contact them, the phone number I think will float across the screen there as well at some point. If they have any questions, ask them. They will get back to you and treat you with nothing but respect. Would I take a prime Gerrard in this team? Yes, of course, mate. Without a doubt. Imagine a prime Stevie G in behind that front three, slipping balls through. Yeah, it'd be pretty good. Domestic Butler said chair looks amazing. It is. It is truly amazing. It's something I'm going to cherish for the rest of my life. Currently, I do this stream in my bedroom. I've said that to you guys before, which I will be moving in the next week. I'm going to bring, I think this chair, it's lost up in my living room or my bedroom. So I'm moving the stream down to my living room. You won't notice any difference, ladies and gents, because I'll still be using a green screen. I'll still be sitting in the same chair. But yeah, I am going to move it downstairs to my living room because I want people to be able to see and enjoy the chair. It feels like having it in the bedroom just isn't doing it justice. I want it to be a talking point in my house, because if you walk into my living room, you look on the wall, you see a Naby Keita shirt, a Fowler shirt, a Carragher shirt, there's a Steven Gerrard shirt in the hall, there's a signed Jordan Henderson picture. My living room is basically a shrine to Liverpool anyway, so why not have this amazing piece of furniture in there as well? Craig Mate said, Connor, I'd have fun on a conversation with Jack Mate actually. His sense of humour is pretty damn dark and I like that about him. Arsenal are going to need a new captain, said Professor Love for him. They really fucking are, mate, no doubt. That attitude of Xhaka's was shocking. Absolutely shocking. This is weird because I don't want to get off this stream. I mean, I've done the hour and 15 minutes, but honestly, I'm enjoying myself so much so that I don't want to go anywhere. I could sit here and keep talking. Sometimes I'm knackered doing the streams, but I'm really enjoying it tonight, ladies and gents. And I can already see some of the comments going, fucking hell, the stream's too long, mate, cut it down. It is what it is. Yeah, we built this channel off long ass streams, so to cut it down just feels like I'd be doing the dirty on everybody. The channel could be called Bold Craigie Boy, but Connor's involved, or at least the offer's there if Connor wants to be involved. There you go. Publicly now, Connor, you're under pressure. Yeah, I've always said I don't want to put him under pressure too much because he's got college. He's got a life, which I don't have. Do you know what I mean? He's a young man. He's out and about there, putting it about, should I say. And yeah, I know that it takes a lot of time and effort for Connor to put up with me. So a second channel might be, I don't know if it's asking too much of young Crosby, but it's something I'm seriously thinking about. And look, everything we do, everything I do, YouTube will always involve Connor, or the offer will always be there because he's my boy. Not literally, as some of you fuckers think, but you're my boy, Blue. You're my boy. I hope you get that reference. First person to get that reference gets a fist. That sounds weird. Gets a fist. Bang. A fist bump. What was it from? Come on. You're my boy, Blue. Somebody knows. Somebody fucking knows. Who's going to be the first to put it in? Thanks, Internet Dad, said Connor. There you go. Old school, Andrew. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. There it is. Old school, yeah. What a film. What a fucking film. Love it. Baton's let himself go, said Brian Morrissey. Let himself go? Baton wishes he looked this good, Brian. He wishes. It's weird. I've spoken so much about that man and being compared to him so much, yet I've never seen 2 seconds of his content. It's mad, isn't it? Craig, remember the Community Shield match? How much we've grown from that match? Yeah. Sometimes I like looking back at old streams, Yasser, and looking at the numbers and going, wow, we were only at 8k back then, or 4k, and it's madness. Keep holding on, said. No, it has to be bald. I like true baldy is just too good. It's I can't use the word true. Yeah, L baldy. I don't know, something with baldy and it works though. Top baldy is a little bit too simplistic, I think. We're going streaking. Yeah, everybody's doing it. We're from the gymnasium. There's nobody else there, mate. Do you know what I mean? Nobody there. We can get a good price. I've got a sand guy. I can get it at a price. I could literally go through quote after quote from that film. Craig just baiting on steroids. I wish I had his money, put it that way. I mean, he is making a few quid, isn't he? Holding back the hairs. That's a good one. That's a good one, Professor. Love form well in. Baldy Towers. Connor's got to go all in here. He'd be sitting all night now just sending me baldy references. The bald and the beautiful. But who's the beautiful? Is Connor getting a compliment there, Bernadette? Bateson is Craig's wannabe. He's Bateson. He is what he is. He's successful, and look, I don't have any hate towards the man. I don't know him at all. And he's making a few quid. And I always say to people, if you can go out there and hustle and make yourself a few quid, go and do it. Nothing but love. Baldy Street, said Tom Boland. Balding around the ginger nut. Baldulous. I don't know, it's one word title. Baldy Bants, said Killian. I like it. True Baldy's just too good though. I wish I could use that phrase because it's just so fucking good. To Baldy go. Shine on you crazy diamond, said Professor Loveform. The Bald Agenda, sister channel to Anfield Agenda, said Billy. Nah, you gotta move away completely from Anfield Agenda if you were to go and do it. Chubaldi. Chubaldi. Oh, I hope that's not a fat reference, you prick. And I'm saying that to Connor, by the way, in case people think I'm talking to a subscriber like that. Right, let me just check my notes, see if there's anything else Liverpool related that I've missed out on before I head off. Done that. Oh yes, Sadio Mane. I knew there was a little bit of something about Sadio. Sadio Mane looks likely to be leaving. New Balance and potentially going and signing up with Nike and wearing Nike boots. There you go. I had to put the big pause in there for dramatic effects, didn't I? Yeah, Sadio Mane looks like he could be ending his deal with New Balance and switching over to Nike. When I said that, we put that up on Twitter, or Connor did earlier on, people were like, you wanted to what? And then they read the second line where we spoke about him changing over to Nike. But yeah, it looks like Sadio could be changing his boots over to Nike and becoming a Nike athlete, which again is another indication of where the club's going. Baldy Bucks. Think we might get our asses sued if we went with that one. Chubaldi like Chewbacca, said Connor. Yeah, that's not what you meant at all. You know, Crosby. Nearly killed me, Craig. Oh, with the Sadio leaving. Sorry, mate, my bad. What was that? Knew that wasn't true. Craig would be sobbing. Oh, if Sadio was off, mate, I would literally be in tears on this stream. Honestly, teabagging Baldy. That implies somebody will be doing the teabagging, John, and not something I'm gonna be having done. Bates in 88. I'm actually born in 81, so Baldson. Baldy, big belly boy, said cocky Irish guy. I used to like you, mate. I used to think that we had a little relationship, mate. I'm working on the big belly, but I mean, if you want to just fat shame me live on the stream, mate, so be it. Thankfully, I make up for the big belly with a massive set of balls. Baldy's agenda, said Scotty. Sadio's here for life, I hope, said Kev. Baldino. There's actually somebody on Twitter who I like called Baldino, actually. He's a good fella. Join the crack with Craig, said. Do you know what I actually own? I actually own crackstore.com. I actually own that domain name, although it is about to run out if anybody wants to rob it off me, because I don't know if I'll be renewing it. But I did buy Crackstore, spelled CRAIC.com, because it was available, and I just couldn't understand how anybody hadn't bought it. It just seems like the perfect name for a comedy store. Or a comedy club, I should say, excuse me. What have we got? Craig, where are your thoughts on Football Daily? I don't have any, mate, sorry. I'm not aware of Football Daily or what it is. Sorry, I'm probably just behind the times on it. Craig the Irish Baldy and his sidekick, Little Red Coat Connor, Little Ginger Crosby. What have we got? Baldy, the Baldy and the Ginger. That's what we could call it. How about that? The Baldy and the Ginger. There you go, Connor. Has anybody seen Connor Crosby and Caoimhín Kelleher in the same room together? That's all I'm saying. Bald agenda. Nah, I'm gonna get away from agenda. Anyway, look, ladies and gentlemen, it has been fun. Sign anybody who wouldn't sign. I don't know what that means. Hair today, gone tomorrow. Arsenal's next. I thought Aston Villa. Arsenal in the League Cup, Joshua, on Wednesday, mate, at 7:30, and we will be doing a watch along from 7 for anybody wondering. Look, I won't be here tomorrow, as you guys know. I usually don't stream on Tuesdays, so if you're going to watch the League Cup games, enjoy them if you can, but if not, I will see you guys at 7 o'clock on Wednesday for the watch along. The game starts at 7:30, which is why we're going to start at 7. As always, we don't schedule our watch along, so just keep an eye out. Make sure you've got the notifications turned on. Please do hit that subscribe button. Can we make 25k during the Arsenal game? It's a big ask, but we need your help. Let people know about us. Hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends about us. Lie about us. Pretend that we're good. Do whatever you need to do. But if you can help us out, ladies and gents, we'd really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who sent super chats tonight as well. Very much appreciated. I will talk to you all on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Enjoy the couple of days away and take care. Love to you all. Bye bye.